Who was in the manger? Chapter 1. Who did this guy think he was? Did you know there is life on the moon? Back in 1835, a newspaper called the New York Sun printed an entire series of articles claiming that life had just been discovered on the moon. A famous scientist named Sir John Herschel was said to have rigged up a really effective new telescope. He could peer through its lens and see exactly what was happening up on the lunar surface. He said he had spotted buffalo, goats, unicorns, and even winged humanoids building temples. Also, it seemed as if the moon would make a terrific vacation site. There were beaches, oceans, and forests up there. You could enjoy them as you took a walk in the Earthlight. Some people got pretty excited, but when someone checked with Sir John Herschel, the whole story fell apart. He said he didn't have a new telescope and he had no idea what was on the moon, but he did have a good laugh. This was what we call a hoax today, a story created to attract attention. The crazy story made The Sun a very popular paper, even after everyone found out the truth. But it just goes to show, don't believe everything you read. When you hear a wild claim, find out the truth for yourself. See if the story holds up. You've heard a lot about Jesus, the guy who was born in a manger and died on the cross to save you from your sins. Why not see if the story of Jesus holds up? After all, it's a bigger deal than goats on the moon. Some people think he was simply a nice guy and a good teacher. He was just a regular person who taught people to live by the golden rule. Others think he never lived at all. Still others believe he was something more than regular. They say he was the Son of God and that we should love him and follow him in all that we do. There are a lot of differences in those ideas, aren't there? You need to decide for yourself what you think about Jesus. It isn't enough to repeat something you've heard without thinking about it yourself. There are several points for you to look at. First, what did Jesus say about himself? Was he crazy or dishonest? And how much evidence is there to support the amazing claims people make about him? Nearly all of Christians' ideas about Jesus come from the Bible, but how do you know those Bible stories are true? And last but most important, there is the matter of Christ coming back from the dead. It's the single most important claim anyone can make about Jesus. What did the man say about himself? Most of our information about Jesus comes from one book, the Bible. Historians have found more than 100 stories about Jesus in other ancient writings, but the Bible is still the most complete source of information about him. So it's important to figure out whether the Bible can be trusted. What if that book is wrong? If somebody proves that the Bible is made up, that casts a lot of doubt on Jesus. In a few moments, we'll take a close look at that question. But for now, let's go to the stories and simply find out what Jesus said. All of the stories about Jesus are found in 4 books called the Gospels, which means good news. One of the Gospels is called John. Listen to what it says about Jesus. It calls him the Word. In the beginning, the Word was already there. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. All things were made through him. Nothing that has been made was made without him. The Word became a human being. He made his home with us. We have seen his glory. It is the glory of the one and only Son. John 1, 1-3 and 14. Stop. Time out. The Word? Jesus didn't say a word here. This is other people making a big deal about him. If he's something special, we should hear it from his own lips. Otherwise, it would seem that people made claims about him that he never intended. Surely he didn't go around calling himself the Word or the one and only. So we turn over to the longest gospel, the one called Matthew. It has a whole lot of statements from Jesus' own mouth. Here's a passage that comes right to the point. Jesus asks his friends, "Who do you say I am?" His friend Peter says that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. Again, these people seem eager to make a big deal. But Jesus does not act embarrassed, like he would have if that hadn't been true. Far from it. He seems very pleased by Peter's words, and he says, "No mere man showed this to you. My Father in heaven showed it to you." Matthew 16, 15-17. And back in John's Gospel, they're having still another conversation about this subject. Somebody asks Jesus, "If you are the Christ, tell us plainly." Here's how Jesus